SHALAWAM. Real quick, I want to face the east, and I want to thank my power for giving me the ability to come out, the spirit to come out here and do another video. Also, I want to give all praise, honor, and glories to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Akwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops, the great millstone who still teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, where the bulk of you will have the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American look, but as well as those of you who are underneath Jeremiah chapter 12 and 9. Hey, Esau just gave me the finger. I'm in the sun downtown. All right, but look, Jeremiah 12 and 9, where it says, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird." All right, so that means that part of the curses that we underwent was that we got scattered amongst the other 17 heathen nations, the 17 heathen nations, because we're not heathens. And so some of the elect are going to come looking like so-called white people, so-called Asians, so-called Arabs, so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, so-called East Indians, so-called Hawaiians. You know, but if you listen to these videos from, Elder Apostle Tahar on down of GMS, and regardless of what you look like, and you feel like Esau Edom, you can identify that Esau Edom is Esau. I mean, the so-called white man is Esau Edom. All right, and you feel in your spirit to repent, regardless if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, you look like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee or Jet Li or whatever. You're an Israelite, and even better than that, there's a good chance that you might be of the hopeful elect. You know, scriptures say the spirit bear witness with our spirit. All right. So this is not like Elder Malcolm says at GMS Chicago camp. This is not a black only thing. It's not a skin tone thing. All right. You got brothers in GMS camps that look like so-called white people, that look like so-called Africans and so-called Arabs. All right. But that's the testament to show that this is a spiritual awakening. All right. This is a spiritual temple being built. Okay. Now I'm gonna get into it real quick. Go ahead and get on into it. Like Elder Apostle Tahar always says. Another identifying marker of how Esau Edom knows that the so-called white man, beginning with the banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, they know that they're the Edomites, all right? Red fuck. And then I'm going to talk some more about Psalms, the 83rd chapter, how the heathen nations developed a tumult to try to do away with the nation of Israel so that that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And some of the current events that happened this past week with King Charles talking about a digital ID is going to be mandatory here over there in Europe. How Donald Trump went over there to China, talked to Xi Jinping, and brought all those CEOs, like all those tech CEOs, like Elon Musk and them. I'll get into that in a second. But this is another. I found this morning. Another identifying marker that Esau Edom knows that they are the Edomites, beginning with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Sassoons, the J.P. Morgans, and that they are a prideful people, like it says in the book of Obadiah 1 and 2, where it says. Verse 3, where it says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." This is Psalms 49 and 11. Boy, you heathens, boy, especially with you Edomites, boy, you motherfuckers, y'all in trouble, boy. This is Psalms 49 and 11. "The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." All right, now they do that in several ways. One, they call their land after their own names of their biblical nationality, which is Edom. They have a place down there in Texas called Edom, Texas. All right, now here's what I found this morning. Pursuing this is Genesis, another identifying marker, them naming their land after their own name because they came and conquered this land from the so-called Native Americans and Seminole Indians, which is the tribe of Gad and Reuben. All right, this is Psalms 36 and 8. And like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, this is plain. All right. What a level, fuck y'all. I'm in a sundown town, man. My head should have been blown off so long ago. But this shows that the Spirit of the Lord is setting up a standard right now for the truth to come out, because he's establishing his dominance and showing that Esau Edom ain't shit. All right, this is Psalms 36 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Mount Seir was a city, or Mount Seir was where the Edomites were, all right? Esau is Edom. Now, you have a place in Connecticut that was formerly called Seir Hill, all right? You have a place here over in Pennsylvania called Mount Seir, Pennsylvania. And you have an unincorporated Mount Seir in both Ohio and in Tennessee. S-E-I-R, Mount Seir, all right? Esau is Edom. You Idumeans, with your pride, are naming places after your own name, all right? So that's one example. Another example of how they name the places after their own name is symbolically they know who they are according to the scriptures. Like they know that they're spiritual Sodom and Egypt, all right? Where it was spoken of here in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Where it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. All right. Now, in reference to the transatlantic slave trade, where Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, so-called Negroes, were brought over here in the transatlantic slave trade, they have places here in America named Egypt, Arkansas, Egypt, Pennsylvania, Egypt, Texas, Cairo, which was a city in Egypt, ancient Egypt, Illinois, and another city that was in ancient Egypt was Memphis. You got Memphis, Tennessee. All right. So Esau is putting all these, paying tribute and homage to himself, as well as to the other heathen nations, to help enslave the children here on this side, us, the children of Israel. Because Moab, or the so-called Chinese, you got a place north of this state called Moab, Utah, M-O-A-B. All right. Ammon, which are the so-called Japanese, you got a place. I think it's Ammon, Idaho. If I can find it. Yeah, Ammon, Idaho. Sticks out like a sore thumb, all right? We're getting into the prophecies. Like Elder Pastor Har always says, prophecies, prophecies, prophecies. You know, it's all about the prophecies, man. The scriptures and the prophecies are going to do all the talking. And then you'll see who are the Lord's chosen. Bitch. All right. This is in reference to now the new world order, the new digital age Tower of Babel that they're trying to establish here, where the mark of the beast, the microchip, the RFID chip, will be the ultimate form of submission and paying homage to Esau, Edom, and Satan here in this day and age. Oh, wow. Okay, well, they cut off my internet. Beautiful. You're beautiful. That's just saying he's mad. Anyway, well, I can go ahead and get on into it. King Charles, earlier this week, just put on his little Burger King crown and his little robe and sat in his little Burger King seat and openly forwarded the agenda of the elite banking families, which is the so-called, which is so-called white people, Rothschilds and Rockefellers, where he wants to institute a digital identification system over there in Europe. All right. And now what ties into that too, another telltale sign, you can Google this, as how they Trump went over there to China earlier this week with a bunch of tech CEOs, all right, to go over there and beg them and ask them for money. Now China is well known. Oh no, my internet doesn't work. How convenient. Now China is well known for having a digital infrastructure where, if people over there do not accept the digital ID system, or if they become in debt to the system over there in China, they are called what is known as Lao Lei, Laolai, which means a debtor. A bad name. You get that's like the scarlet letter A. They get hit with that being like a debt dodger. That's what it was, a debt dodger. So for people over there who become debt dodgers or Lao Lai, like I said, Laolai, then they get ostracized in various ways from like their bank accounts. They'll get frozen and they'll lose access to it. They'll lose access to being able to ride on trains and on planes. They'll be denied access to luxury hotels. Their children will be denied access to nice, expensive private schools. So you're seeing them trying to, so they have the digital infrastructure over there to, which is the same platform, the same structure as what's getting ready to come down the pike in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18, which reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So, like I just read, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. I just explained to you what how the digital infrastructure that they have over there in China, which is Moab. They even have it to where, you know, they got like a key. You don't even have to use a key. It's a what is it? Where you push buttons like on the side of a car door, where you got to put in a code. And then on top of that, they got fingerprint identification, or thumbprint or fingerprint access, as well as eye access. So if you become a debt dodger or a lao lei in China, you lose access to your own home, your own car, you know? So China, because they're being funded by the Rothschilds, China has the most sophisticated and digital infrastructure woven into their society, and the way that citizens live and the way that they are governed over there in China is largely due to the AI system over there. And that is now becoming spread all over the world. All right. Now you got people over there in Sweden that voluntarily take microchips and have implantable microchips in their hands. All right. So the digital infrastructure is not waiting to be erected. It's been systematically erected here in Babylon through time. You know, with the 5G, and now they're bringing about the 6G tower, because Donald Trump was talking about a 6G race with China, trying to erect 6G towers here in America, as well as they're erecting data centers all over Babylon. And that's because when they start tracking and tracing people through Planeteer and massive intimate surveillance, they want to be able to take the data of each and every individual person's living portfolio. All right. So the way we eat, what we eat, when we eat, where we shop at, how often we shop at, where we go, how we spend our time at work. You know, what's our attitude and our nature at work? Are we snickering and talking shit about the boss? They're going to be able to catch it all. And they're going to want to be able to load it up in those data centers. So then when it becomes mandatory in the future for people to get to be either blacklisted or green lighted to take the microchip, they would have already created a digital dossier on each and every individual here in Babylon. All right. Don't believe this is Babylon? They got places here named Babylon. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I say we. I mean, if you guys show up for breakfast,
you're welcome.
And then Prima is right there.
Yeah, they have a place.
We should go to Prima.
Yeah.
Babylon, New York, Babylon Village, New York, North and West Babylon, New York, Babylon, Illinois, Babylon, Texas. This is Babylon. Now, back in ancient Babylon was the King Nimrod, was where the King Nimrod was trying to establish the Tower of Babel, and the Most High overthrew it. All right, and Esau Edom is plugging into those ancient customs of wickedness and soothsaying, because here in America, you have places here named Nimrod, which was he was the king of Babylon. All right, he was the son of Cush. Now here in America, you have places called Nimrod, Minnesota, Nimrod, Arkansas, Nimrod, Texas, Nimrod, Montana, Nimrod, Oregon. I can't make this up. All right, the Lord aims to kill all of you who are not the elect of the nation of Israel, including the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. They're going to have to die here and get it by death by pain, but come back through the loins of the elect. The Most High ain't playing out here, man. Now's a good time to fear the Lord. Lord willing, I will continue to do so. Because, man, you know how Jake is when Jake get to fighting. Jake likes to move furniture, so, things get to shuffle. The environment where Jake is fighting, it gets to shuffle. Man, when the Lord starts swinging out here, the earth is going to shake to and fro like a drunkard. Because he's going to be shooting missiles here on America, as well as pestilence, as well as teeth of wild beasts. That's going to shake up the whole scene. You got this whole Hunter thing getting ready to come back down the pipe, which is the C-19er 2.0. That moved furniture. That was the Most High moving furniture around here, all up in this piece, man. People dying left and right, 6 feet apart. People wearing masks. People getting beat up over debacles over wearing a mask or lack thereof. So the Most High is the ultimate Jake, man. So when he really gets to swinging out here with his judgment here on Babylon and over there where the tiny tops are, the Amalekites, man, the whole earth is going to shake to and fro. And that's when we need to pray to the Lord now and always, Lord willing, for him to remember mercy when he gets to start casting doling judgment out here on a large scale. Because you heathens, especially you goddamn Edomites out here, man, the Lord is coming to kill you. Straight like that. Okay, ain't nothing you can do about it neither. Matter of fact, bear with me, I'm sorry. Yeah, so reading back Revelation 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so that China right now is a good example of the digital infrastructure being erected, and how the government, how the powers that be have people living over there in that zone where you got 15-minute cities. All right, you can only go so far for so long. That's the same way it is here. We're talking about, well, 15-minute cities are far off. Really? Like, with the price of everything, with how much you earn in wages, but versus the price of how much everything in society costs, you can only go so far for so long. You can only buy so much food. All right? You got to spend all this time at your job. You have to live your life. You only can spend so much time at home. The 15-minute cities are already erected here based upon how they adjust the prices of everything with your wages. In every city, town, and state, man, we're already in 15-minute cities, but then it's going to be digitized and further monitored by digital surveillance. All right? Even if you want to talk shit about your boss, man, they're going to catch it on camera. So we're coming to that dystopian world, all right? Just like Yuval Noah Harari was talking about, saying that the C-19er back in 2020 was a pivotal point that mankind is going to look back on in 100 years and say this is when underskin surveillance and surveillance really took off. All right, in the evolution of man woven with machine. All right, but really all it's about is the elites want to be able to digitally enslave everyone here on this earth, and for those of them who refuse to take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, they will be ostracized, tortured, and or killed. All right, if I'm alive in that day, when that day comes, I too will be tested, and Lord willing, I will tell these heathens to go fuck themselves and take that chip and stick it up where the sun don't shine. All right. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Now, Elder Yashawamba from Dallas, whose YouTube page is Remnant Save 144, did a video last week in reference to the mark of the beast and what the 603 score and 6 means. All right, child size stigma. All right. Now, this is going to talk about the elect Now this is what the Lord is saying about the children of Israel, specifically the 2/3 of our people who take the mark of the beast. Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 through 11. And the angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, whose name is Yahweh, by the way, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation. All right, that mixture is going to be a plethora of things, like teeth of wild beasts, famine, civil war, sedition among men, pestilence, and the ultimate ingredient to that mixture is getting hit with thermonuclear fire, because World War III just got kicked off on February 28th of this year, with America going to Iran and trying to colonize that place over there. And that's stepping on the toes of the investors of Iran, which is China and Russia. All right? So things are getting ready to get real bad, and America is now losing alliances with other NATO and EU nations. All right? Like France, Europe, Great Britain. That's why the scripture said that the beast shall hate the whore. The beast is over there, Great Britain and those NATO and EU nations, and they're hating this whore America because she's stinking up the field and fucking up the money. And eventually, when America gets hit by thermonuclear fire by Russia and China, Great Britain and the NATO and EU nations too will fire upon America, because they don't want the smoke with Russia or China. All right? And BB Milkowski, BB Not a Boo Boo, and Donald Diaper T to the rump. It's, man, they're getting ready to feel it, man. And he shall, reading on verses 10, Revelation 14 and 10, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, because at the same time those nuclear missiles get ready to hit America, the 1/3, the elect of the nation of Israel, will be beamed up by who the world fraudulently calls JC, whose name is Yahweh. All right? And what the world calls UFOs and UAPs, which are the chariots of Israel. All right? That's how they're going to be done up, with tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, because that RFID chip is going to be omitting, like 6G radiation and technology, and when that gets inside the flesh, that turns cancerous. Prime examples of that is the countless cases of people who get tumors and cancers from cell phone usage. That was a big problem when it initially started. Not with the flip phone where it was just a screen where you just dial the number, but when they started doing like those little iPhones, people was getting brain cancer, brain tumors. All right. Now that is going to apply more so with this more advanced RFID chips will require a plethora of energy. And while those things are implanted in people, they're going to start to have a lot of issues. All right. But the elect are going to be saved in that day, and they're not going to take the chip. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass, that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Now that just correlates with what I read in Revelation chapter 14, verses 9. If any man worship the beast in his image, that's talking to the nation of Israel. Because the heathen nations, the Lord ain't dealing with the other heathen nations. So whether they take the chip or not, the Lord ain't dealing with them any goddamn ways. They're heathens. And they're going to be tributaries and slaves underneath the nation of Israel in the kingdom of heaven, which will be here on earth. The kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of Yahushua, and we, beginning with the house of David, are joint heirs with the Lord in the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to need subjects, because we ain't working. We're not building shit. Zechariah 13 and 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So when all this tumultuous time of Jacob's trouble, which we're already in, as it gets grander and grander, as we get closer and closer to the mark of the beast being mandatory for us all, it's going to be hell out here. It's going to be sedition among men. You already got no king's protests. All right, you got people that's up in array and still complaining about the effects of, of the C-19 and how it destroyed all their families. You know, and that dude Fauci never got persecuted. Now he's back again talking about the Fanta soda that's getting ready to come out now, that they've already manufactured and mastered, and now they're ready to cull and fulfill more of their Georgia guidestones by bringing the population down to only 500 million. All right. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakadash is my people. So I mean, it's my God. I'm sorry. So the elect are going to get a heavenly spiritual navigation and compass, man, through these tumultuous times. All right. Now, when because right now the Esau Edom, in reference to Revelation chapter 12 verses 12, he's coming in like a flood because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Let me get it. Let me get it. Revelation 12 and 12. Rejoice ye, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Well, see, that was Satan right there to cover up that camera right there. Look, man, the Lord is coming for you fucking Edomites, man. You heathen, you top banking families, the Lord's coming to kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? Revelation chapter 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. And another confidence booster for those of you, for the hopeful elect, showing that the Lord has got you. Lord willing, I'm of the elect too. I've been called. I hope I'm of the chosen. Jeremiah chapter 30 verses 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who's the he? I just read that in Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. You know, the elect, the 1/3 are going to get, you know, they're going to be saved from it. They're going to be refined as silver is refined, and tried as gold is tried. So they all right. They good. All right. Now this is another one too, how we need to move out here as the hopeful elect. Revelation chapter, well, this is manyfold too. Revelation chapter 13, 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's a commandment right there. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So hold back and wait for the Lord to bust these people to fuck up and take them down. Because according to Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not wherein, who is he? The Lord set this dude up, so only the Lord's going to bring him down. So we need to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves out here. All right, where the Lord does his thing in establishing his name out here on the earth, his son's name, who his people are, and eventually, well, even now in this time, who his chosen are, which is GMS, beginning with Elder Apostle to on down. All right. Salaki. So in the meantime, in between time, like it says, here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Here's another, you know, commandment right here from the Lord in these times. Romans 12 and 18. If it be possible, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. All right. So don't go out here wanting to super sock people because, you know, you all in your, you know, be mad, but be spiritual. All right. Only in self-defense do you pray to the Lord and do what you have to do. But don't go out here and be offensive, be defensive. OK, I'm speaking first and foremost for myself. And also, this is what Yahushua said too, back during the time of Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 22 and 20 verses 22. Now, when you go to the book of Matthew, and we see the words in red, that's our Lord Yahushua speaking when he walked there over 2,000 years ago. Matthew 22 verses 20. And he said unto him, who is the image and the subscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then he said Then he saith unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. So what that means is render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, meaning we need to be out here and be upstanding citizens. We need to pay our bills, pay our taxes, you know, be good upstanding citizens out here in this place, all right? And another way that correlates to modern times here is that they have places here in America named Rome, after Rome. Bear with me, it's real windy. Satan's doing his thing. He's mad. You have places in here in America called, because Revelation 13 verses 3 and 4 talks about the beast that was wounded and did live. You know, Rome was wounded, but now it's back and revived here. You have places in America called Rome, Georgia, Rome, New York, Rome, Illinois, Rome, Wisconsin, Rome, Maine, Rome, Pennsylvania. All right, so here it is, boy. Bear with me. And then another part, Matthew chapter 26, verse 52, showing that we need to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Matthew chapter 26, verses 52, then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So we don't have a physical army here. Yasharallah, we don't. All we have is faith. All right, and the Lord is going to put on a marvelous wonder and establish his name back into the earth, because it's been so long without fruit. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with that one. Oh, Sirach chapter 2, which is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verses 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? The answer is no. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? The answer is no. Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So, unless we find ourselves in a bind, just pray to the Lord, okay? And like I said, only in self-defense do you, do what you have to do, and pray to the Lord to have you, do your thing psychologically, or if push comes to shove, if it turns physical, we hope not, but this is Babylon, and what we're doing is ruffling a lot of Idumean feathers. So with that, I'm gonna do 2nd Ezra. Chapter 6 and 27. No, I'm gonna end it with, I'm gonna do it. Yes, chapter 6 verses 27. Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glories to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops, the great millstone, who still teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Never forget, the name of my channel is the MOTB is here too. The channel of the last 4 elder apostles of GMS.